Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Stardew Valley. This is going to be a massive post-commentary finishing up the last 17 days of fall here. So, as usual, I have a whole notepad here of highlights to talk about with footage to accompany. Nah, whatever. So yeah, just kind of starting off slow here as if it was regular, making the gift wine. Happy day, though. And so because of that, we went mining, and something happened immediately. On the farm, we got cranberries and just kind of kept going with the ancient fruit in the greenhouse, but watch the left side of the screen. There we go, Monster Slayer goal complete. See Gil for your reward. He's the dude in the rocking chair at the Adventurers Guild. So I barely stayed in here after seeing that, because we're starting to achieve the Monster Slayer goals. So that's the napalm ring. When you defeat an enemy, they explode. It's not nearly as good as it sounds, though. I tested it out, and they do like a tiny poof, smaller than a cherry bomb. But there's the list of things, and it was the serpents that we slayed. So next on the list is the dust sprites. But I went ahead and made 4 more kegs later that day. Timeout chair's still in that room. But yeah, we're slowly expanding, man. Wait until you see by the 28th of fall, this place is nuts. So that was the 12th. Basically, oh, we got Fairy Rose Honey that day too. But yeah, expect this kind of short stuff. Oh, and the Amaranth, I took everything but 1 out of the fridge, knowing I just need 1 to make salmon dinner. Next day, 13th, we had the artichoke. And got a little bit of a longer clip here before the next cut, because we pick them all and check out what's going on in the greenhouse. Oh yeah, pretty much every single one of these days, it's all about making money. Getting as many crops as possible, converting it into either wine, juice, or preserves. And just, how can we get more kegs and preserves jars? So there's some cool stuff that we do. So yeah, we had cranberries, lots of star fruit. Apparently I had an ancient seed in there that I forgot about the day prior. Bok choy was ready, so you know we used that to make more super meals. I think I have so many of those in the main mining chest. The apricot tree is not yet there, but it will be. So yeah, now this is the beginning of slowly getting mostly ancient fruit in here. There's gonna be more footage of it, but I don't show every day placing new ones. But yeah, still going with the star fruit too, while we could. Kind of just depends on the seed maker, whether it does 3 or only 1. Oh yeah, and then this was just to show, because it was a great opportunity to just go pumpkin nuts, because so many things were ready. So this pretty much becomes regular, but we burned through these pumpkins, even though that harvest was huge. They go quick, within like 3 or 4 days. They're gone. So that was the 13th. Remember the 13th of summer, how amazing that was? Alex's birthday, where we proposed and achieved all of our goals. Yeah, well, we're done with that. We're just here to make money now. So that's 2 of the 17 days done. And I always spend a long time on these menus because I like numbers or something. I don't know. I like seeing the big numbers. There you go. 16 strawberry wine. It's really not that great, though. Queen of Sauce on the start of the next day. Blackberry Cobbler, which is good because blackberry season is happening. So I do make that. That's another thing that we're doing, is just still filling out the recipes and getting more. Looks like 4 preserves jars temporarily placed right there, and it's getting really cluttered, as you can see. But yeah, since we have yams, we're going yam crazy with the preserves jars, because it's next to cauliflower the next best thing. And we have so many of them. And that's pretty much the highlight of the 14th. Just kind of more of the same. I did write down coal farming as part of that day, so that means I went to the mines and was trying to get coal. But yeah. So you see, it's just kind of not really much going on, so why show it? Next day, speaking of yams, this was our 100 on the left side here. I don't show plucking every single one, but just enough to get the enjoyment. Eggplant was also ready, but I don't show that because it's just 9 of them and whatever. But this is the big highlight of this day. We, first of all, put the crib back, because I figured, why not? Let's see if a kid can happen. So that's back in the house, but more importantly than that, it's time to get a shed. And I know maybe it's kind of stupid because we could just add a room to the house for free, but I wanted a shed, man. There's a really cool spot you could put it. And I had the resources. Like, money isn't a joke at this point. But I was looking at some other people's farm maps, and I saw a really cool shed placement over here by the hardwood stumps. I just kind of like the idea of this like foresty building off on its own. And that's going to become our new preserves jar home over the next several days here. So then, Sandy, it was Sandy's birthday today, and something crazy happens. So I wasn't planning on going mining or anything, but look at Emily's here. I don't know if this is on her birthday or what, but yeah. And that maxed her out, so it's just the dwarf now who's not maxed out. Yeah, I spent a little time here because I was just kind of shocked to see Emily walking around and you can't buy seeds. But this does happen. If you read the wiki, it says Emily comes here sometimes, but it's a specific day and I guess it might be her birthday. I think I just used this time to forage some things. They seem to stop at the lake up there. It's just a neat thing. And then, back to business, 4 more kegs in the timeout room. And this time we're rolling with red cabbage because the pumpkins were getting low. Or gone at this point, I don't even know. But red cabbage is good to turn into juice. And that's the 15th. Look at that money, man. It's only gonna get bigger. I don't know, it kind of wavers between like kind of crappy 12,000 days and then to like these massive days. Crystal fruit wine, that's from grinding for coal. Every now and then you get crystal fruit. Oh yes, then it was this festival. I actually brought stuff for the Grange, won first place and got a rating of 101 and 1,000 star tokens, which I was so thankful for that I didn't have to play those stupid games again. And that's what I brought here. I tried to bring crops, something that would count as an animal product, which the egg was, a recipe, a forageable, and something from the mines. Because I know it's category based like that, but I'm not too sure. So I just brought what I could of high quality, and it worked. And I didn't have to play any stupid games that were repetitive, and it was enough to get a rare crow that I didn't have yet. And I think I got 2, I had 200 left? Yeah, so I think I just got some sunflowers or something. Or pepper poppers? No, I couldn't afford it. I don't know what happened. But, there you go. That was the highlight of that day. That festival, man. Not really a fan of it, but it's cool. I like how you can bring your stuff. And I remember this time, since I didn't do it year 1, Fairy Rose Honey again. Pretty good stuff. So what day are we on here? Shed, that was the shed day? No, that was just the Grange day. Okay, so we're on day 6 of 17 now. Oh, look at that pumpkin juice. 10,000, man. Crayon Star, Foraged, and Mines are my notes for this day. Oh yeah, I didn't even show it. So that's what happened. We got a little bit of starfruit in the greenhouse, cranberries, as you can see here from the tally list. Look at the pumpkin juice, though. 16 of them were ready for 16,000. It's crazy. That's the kind of number you see, and you have to put the controller down and squeeze your fingers together because you're so excited. Don't act like you don't do it. But yeah. So moving on, day 7 of 17. Slime Egg Mine are the notes. So, fell 7 levels to get our first slime egg of the purple. That's the best one, too. That one sells for the most. But I don't do anything with it. You can incubate it and go see Robin and build a slime hutch and start growing slimes. I don't know. It's weird. And that's really all that happened. Obviously, I went mining that day. Tried to build up the mineral ore and everything. More pumpkin juice, man. It was just coming in like crazy. 15,000. But at this point, we were probably out of pumpkins. Speak of the devil, giant pumpkin. Another one, man. And then this annoyed me. Pam was asking for a battery pack for her TV remote, so even further away from doing the 1.5 stuff now, because I have to get rid of a battery. So We'll leave a little bit in here, get the copper going. Artichokes were also ready, as we're about to see, and then it's just kind of working on the kegs. It's just satisfying seeing that giant pumpkin, man. It reminds me of like Cinderella or something. And that's why we smack it. How many is that? 18? Is that what that says? Tiny little preview window, I don't know. And then artichokes, oak resin, always building up. Shed was ready by now. We did dip in. I didn't show it though because it's empty. This is a tiny room, but we are, like I said, putting preserves jars in there. Moving everything existing in the house into there and expanding upon that, which I was working on here. Building 4 more kegs. You can see I got rid of some of the preserves jars. But the rest were still cooking, so I couldn't get rid of them yet. And thanks to the pumpkin harvest, we're back in the money again. I didn't see how the red cabbage was doing in the fridge, but I think that was starting to run low. Ah, yes, and I built a chest with all the wood that I had. Because another thing was grabbing all of the best crops for preserves jars rather than the keg and moving them to that chest, which luckily, for now, it's not really that big of a deal. Just every yam that we harvest put in the chest, and that'll take us through fall. So it looks like I had 4 from the house. I think I may have built 1, because it looked like I only pulled out 3 from the house. Although, I don't know, maybe the right side was whatever. But yeah, yams. We're growing them, that's the best thing, and put the chest dead center. I think I painted it orange or something, just for the heck of it. So yeah, that was the 19th. Almost there, man. Look at that, 67,000 from the farming. 68,000 total, thanks to the truffles mostly. Corn, artichokes, the pumpkins did it. It's all the pumpkins. It's your big money. And look at the red cabbage juice, 819. Not exactly the 1,000 that pumpkin gives you, but good all the same. So yeah, still squeezing those fingers together, man, in excitement. Day 20. Ah, yes, remember that letter about his book was done and he was doing a reading in the library? Well, apparently, next time you come here, it just happens. Because I was processing geodes and trying to fill the museum up. I think I may have gotten 1 new thing, I don't know. Well, yeah, he just reads his book, and it's based on what you told him you like. So I said mystery way back in like summer or something. Blue Tower, a mystery novel set in a surreal dystopian future. So yeah, I guess that's where it's different. And probably all this stuff. Omniscience, that's how you say that word, right? That's kind of a crazy word. So yeah, luckily you don't have to sit through an actual whole book. That would be nuts. It was massively happy. Look at all those books that I still haven't read. Yeah, he dedicates it to you, all bashful. And there you go, that was basically the highlight of that day. I didn't even write down what I did. Probably forage and coal is probably the best guess. More red cabbage juice, doing pretty good. Fairy rose honey, look at that, almost 2,000 when that comes in. Imagine if I had more honey things going. So, day 21, almost there. This day, first thing, well, I almost forgot though, the queen of sauce, crab cakes, finally! So all the crabs that I had in the fridge, I don't know how many we make, we're about to see. But I was coming in here to check the spirits, to try to make a decision on the day. But actually, when they're displeased, that's good for farming coal, because you would think displeased, they just add more enemies. But let's see. We already know what they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. It's not bad. And there you go, that was the highlight of that day. I don't know. Probably did go farm for coal because of the displeased spirits. Trying to get those dust sprite numbers up for our next Monster Slayer reward. Next day, yams were ready again. Good stuff. Nice windy day. And we're about to do something we haven't done yet. And man, I'm glad I did it too. So after all that plucking, the coffee beans that the dust sprites have been dropping, and I think I may have purchased one from a traveling cart, I finally moved them to the greenhouse because it says spring or summer you have to plant them. So I got nervous and was like, well, I'll try putting them in the greenhouse, and it does work. Made 3 more kegs there. I don't know what I put in it. Pumpkins if we had it. Then, because it was the 22nd and there's only 28 days, I got nervous about more yams and was like, well, we have all these beets. Let's just plant them. We may have been able to squeeze in another yam harvest, but I'm not sure. I have to... Offhand right now, I don't know how many days they take. And how many days with the deluxe speed grow, even. So we just got rid of all these extra seeds that we had from when I bought too many. So yeah, pretty much closing out the season, waiting for that final pumpkin harvest. And just hoping for the wine to carry us through money-wise. I mean, really, there's no point to money. We're way beyond where we need to be right now. But it's like the return scepter and all that stuff the wizard's selling. So yeah, let's keep working on the money. So then we went mining the next day. And got another slime egg, this time red, which is not as good as purple. But yeah, just kind of shoved it in a chest to think about later. Later in that same trip, another treasure floor. Got another sprinkler. But it's a little late now, and it looks like I also have a battery from one of the iridium bats. So finally one of them was nice to me and dropped that. And that was pretty much the extent. I mean, obviously if you go to the Skull Caverns as your whole day plan, that's the whole day. Corn came in, but yeah, like who cares about that? It's just an oil supply at this point. Kind of slow strawberries and pumpkin juice day that time. So, moving on, we come up to a pretty important day in terms of progress here, day 24 of fall. It's time to visit the missing bundle. From the mining trip, I had a prismatic shard. And all the greenhouse stuff, I actually got 5 gold ancient seeds, ancient fruit. And I had a silver quality spiceberry wine that I put in the cask specifically for this bundle. I was like, oh, spiceberry wine, that's crap. So it's just the void salmon and the caviar, and we're already in the process of working towards caviar, even if void salmon might actually be easier, because I think you just fish where the witch is. Now, get used to this, we're going to be doing this a lot more. With all the cloth that we're just randomly getting, I use this aeronite mineral to try to make a blue shirt. I couldn't remember if this is one of the cool ones I saw on the wiki page. But yeah, I got so bored that I started experimenting with the sewing machine and trying to get new hats and shirts. Got some like blue and white shirt here. I think I kept it on just to go back to the farm, but I got so used to the Charlie Brown look, man. So immediately switched back. Oh yeah, there you go. That's what the aeronite and cloth does. And that's day 24. Expect more of that in winter, man. Because we don't even have crops in winter. It's all down to the pumpkins and the preserves and stuff. But yeah, starfruit was trickling in a little bit each day. Slowly being replaced with ancient fruit. We may have even dipped into starting to put ancient fruit into the kegs. Lots of strawberry wine that day. But look at that, it takes 21 to be 10,000. Pumpkin juice is so much better. All right. Day 25. Greenhouse ancient seeds. Coffee beans were coming in, but yeah, look at how many ancient plants are growing now. Apricot tree has been done. You can see it back there. Apricot's like the worst fruit, though. It sells for crap. Good for the preserves jar, and exact same monetary value if you do the keg, but the preserves jar is faster. So yeah, really not much to them. And we got artichokes. And then, watch the left side of the screen again. Monster Slayer goal complete. This is the best one to complete, too. Your reward for killing 500-something dust sprites is the burglar ring, which doubles the chances of enemies dropping what they can normally drop. So immediately it was like, get the heck out of here, we gotta get that ring. At long last, farming for coal is gonna be more productive. Because it rolls 2 dice instead of 1. But the description is it just increases the chances. But we also got another one. Bats, I think. So we have 2 rewards. Vampire ring. You gain a little health for every monster you slay. And the burglar's ring. That thing is amazing, dude. Monsters... What does it say? Have a greater chance of dropping loot. So yeah, bats. You see the bats has the thing. And the dust sprites. So I switched out one of the iridium bands for the burglars thing. Because that's just too good when you're farming for stuff. And yeah, it really does make a difference. Almost every time they drop coal. So, yeah. Ancient fruit. Yeah, I was starting to sell them because they were coming in so frequently. Because remember, like, the greenhouse is all out of whack. They're not synchronized at all. So you get, like, little 1s and 2s every day. Day 26. The beets came in. Okay. Ah, yes, and then we finally get on the preserves jar shed. I mean, I've been doing a little bit and not showing it here. But this is it. I crafted 8. So yeah, look at this thing, man. Can start doing second rows. Made a centerpiece one, and then of course, yams. Had a bunch of them. So we got this going on, plus the house full of kegs. It's ridiculous how much money we're cooking up every day. But it's gotta last through winter, and that's rough with no crops growing. So, coming up on day 27... Oh yeah, I sold a dwarf scroll, because they drop that when you're in the mines too, sometimes. Day 27 is the Spirit Festival, or Halloween. Which, the only thing worthwhile there is getting the golden pumpkin and selling it, but... I did buy some stuff. Which we're about to see. I don't know what I did prior to this. Probably just foraged and coal again. So yeah, I got the jack-o'-lantern recipe. I think I bought 1 jack-o'-lantern just for the heck of it. And then the funky rug eventually. The gravestone is stupid to me. It's like, why would you want that on your farm unless you're really like into the gothic thing? I don't know. But yeah, the jack-o'-lantern's stupid. I planted it outside and then the first day of winter it dies. I didn't realize it did that. Well, yeah, I did go get the golden pumpkin in the maze again, too, even though it sells for, like, nothing compared to what we're brewing now. So, yeah, no point showing that. Coming up on the final day here. Look at that, 42,000. Good starfruit day or something? I don't know. Yeah, golden pumpkin, 2,500. I mean, it's good. It's just... Oh, 22 pumpkin juice. That's what did it. So something tells me the pumpkins were starting to run low, and that would make sense because this is the last day of fall, and using the deluxe speed grow, if you don't mess up, the last day brings you your last pumpkin harvest. So our morning here is a little less chopped up in terms of video editing stuff. So here we are, final day of fall. This was a 5-hour video, by the way. 2 files. Because I took a break in between. But last day of fall, finally the fiddlehead risotto for Kent. Even though it doesn't matter now. They've been in the fridge for so long, so we go make as much as possible. I think it's 10 total I can make. Oh, we got another salad from Leah. Still haven't used those. I just tuck them away because she loves that stuff too, so if ever you don't have wine to give her, just give her her own salad back and she won't know the difference. Because she's a computer character. Whatever. Let's stir fry in there too. But I ignored the kegs for now. With priority being crafting this fiddlehead risotto. Garlic, fiddlehead fern, and oil. And there we go, that was all the ferns I had kept, but I was so happy that deleting pride, you know? Space in the fridge now. It just feels so good to get rid of stuff, I don't know. But yeah, Fiddlehead Risotto is actually really good, too, for bringing into the mines. And that was amazing. That parsnip from Caroline. I never have to grow parsnips ever again, because there was still one parsnip required recipe that I did not make, and now I can do it because of Caroline sending one. So I was super happy about that, to just check it off of the recipe menu. And we got look at that, man, all 3 pumpkin harvests yielded a mega pumpkin. So that was crazy. And also, look at how much money we have, 915,248. Fairy rose honey came in last day, so you pluck the flowers. Yeah, this is crazy. Summer year 2, we achieved all of our goals. Fall year 2 was just insane. The season where we made the most money, by far. Of course, now that we have this, like, crazy... Even the left side of the farm is insane now. Going into spring, maybe the spring can outdo the fall, even. Cauliflower would be the way to go there, and rhubarb. But yeah, later on that day, I checked the casks, and we had 3 starfruit wine ready. Of iridium quality. I used the pickaxe because... if it's not iridium quality, you have to use the pickaxe to get it out of the cask. But when it's already iridium, you could just grab it like anything else. So wait until you see how much just those 3 sell for. Jade was cooking up constantly in that one thing. And I mean, the rest of the day, too, after the huge harvest, I just, once again, grinded for coal. Because you need a lot of coal to craft preserves jars, and I was trying to fill up that shed and everything, so... And there you go. That is the fall. I think I checked one last time, see if anything was brewing. It's crazy. So now, going into winter, that fishing pond. We need to start catching sturgeon from the mountain lake, filling that, and hoping for sturgeon roe so we can get caviar and complete the missing bundle. And that will be like the last main game goal before delving into the 1.5 island editions and stuff with Willie's boat and all that. But I'm not even sure when I'm going to cover that. I might just kind of play on my own time, you know? And then eventually, maybe get the return scepter and then eventually start doing that stuff and recording it, but we'll see. So yeah, oh yeah, this is an example of me being somewhat of a perfectionist, I guess. Just double-checking everything like 5 times. Last day, making sure there's nothing else you could do before going into the next season. You also never know when these things are going to be done cooking. They could pop up at like 140. But yeah, that is that. Like I said, a 5-hour-long set of footage here, trimmed down. And I think you see why, because the gameplay is starting to get pretty repetitive. Oh yeah, you hear that? We got a rare owl thing, so there's going to be an owl statue on the farm tomorrow. And look at this money, dude. This is the craziest day of this entire playthrough so far. I never made this much money in one day. 114,000. Because of the fairy rose honey, and just the insane pumpkins, the starfruit, and probably those wines, which we're about to see here. Even the yams, though. Yeah, the 3 starfruit wine for 6,300 apiece. Just those 3 was 18,900. And insane amount of pumpkin juice, too. It's crazy, man. So that is that. We have one more season to burn through. The dullest season of them all. So we're going to do a lot of sowing and mining and who knows what, just to get to spring and see how well we did by the grandfather. So thank you for watching, you guys, and I'll see you then. Take care.